is a tutorial on how to create a choice board in Google Slides. Here is an example of the choice board that we will be creating today. This is based on a 7th grade standard. There are 9 activities that students can choose from. However, you can see some of these icons are duplicated. If you are strategic in how you place your icons on your choice board, you're able to reuse some of the assignments. So typically a choice board is going to be a 3x3 grid where students choose 3 assignments to do, getting that tic-tac-toe 3 in a row, either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. So we want to be really strategic in where we place the assignments so that there's not the same assignment in the same row. So you're thinking about how students can get a 3 in a row, and then you're placing your assignments accordingly. You also want to be mindful of blended learning, making sure that they have the opportunity to have that online and offline experience in the 3 activities that they are choosing. This choice board does connect to instructions. So if I were to click on this icon right here, it will take me to the page that gives me instructions. Since this is an example, I didn't really put a lot of verbiage on this page, but this is where you will expand your ability to give students instructions. To go back to the choice board, I'm going to click Home. And then I can click on the rest of the activities. And again, that takes me to the page that gives me instructions for what that activity is. On the choice board, I try to use very generic icons. That way, the next choice board that I create, I can go in, make a copy, and just change out the instructions. And I don't have to go through the trouble of creating the table, linking all of the slides in the presentation to the correct icon. I can just go in and basically change the instruction for that activity. So that's why that presentation icon doesn't have any text or verbiage to it. After you do this several times, your students will start to recognize that that icon means presentation. This microphone right here means podcast. This news right here means an article or text. And then this paper with a pencil means that they are going to be producing some type of writing. So if you try to make your assignments very generic, you'll be able to reuse, repurpose, and remix. I used AI to help me get some ideas to get those juices flowing. So what I did, I went to magicschool.ai, and I utilized the choice board UDL option. I put in the standard that I was working with for 7th grade, and then I hit enter, and that gave me some ideas to be able to do assignments for the choice board. So I did go with the podcast episode right here. I also went with the character analysis, creating a summary, annotating text. And if I want to get those instructions to put on the slides that correlate with the choice board, I could go to ChatGPT and ask for some help with that as well to generate those instructions. So leveraging AI is really helpful when it comes to creating choice boards. When you're trying to be creative, you're trying to think of ways for students to represent their understanding, and you're trying to use multiple means of that representation. So this is a great way to leverage that. So in Magic School, I found this icon right here that kind of looks like a puzzle piece, choice board UDL. Clicked here, went to 7th grade, and then that's where I dropped my standard to be able to get some of those choice board activities. Let's go ahead and create this choice board in Google Slides. When you open up a new Google slide, you're going to have a horizontal layout. We do want to get it to be the regular size of a paper. So I'm going to go to File, Page Setup, and click on Custom. And I'm going to put the standard size of a paper, which is 8.5 by 11. Highlight on the text and the boxes that are already provided and just delete those. I need a 3 by 3 grid. So I'm going to Insert, and I'm going to choose Table. From here, I'm going to do 3 horizontally, 3 vertically. There's my 3 by 3 grid. I'm going to highlight over that until I get that arrow, and I'm going to stretch and pull. This is a little light for those lines, so I'm going to highlight inside all 9 boxes. Go up here to that border color and click on black. And I'm going to just follow a black and white type of theme for all of my icons. So I do know all of my assignments that I'm going to be putting on my choice board. I leveraged AI to help me out with some of those. And I was definitely making sure that I was staying in the standard that I was teaching. That's where I went to Magic School AI. And I did put that standard right there so that I know that all of these assignments are going to be standards based. So I need to find an icon for presentation. This one is a character analysis that I created myself. So that's a screenshot. That one's going to be kind of easy to pull off of my computer. But I will need an icon for the podcast, the text annotation, as well as the summary. So let's go ahead and find those icons and place them into our choice board. To do that, I'm going to click Insert. Then I'm going to go to Image and search the web. Here I'm going to look for Presentation, Clip Art. And clip art is going to give me more of a cartoonish type of picture as opposed to a real photograph. A presentation. I double clicked on that because I'm going to take the border out. So if you double click on it, you can see you get these thick black lines. I'm pulling those so that way I can crop just the portion of that picture that I want. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place that into my choice board. The next one that I had on my choice board was the character analysis. So I will grab that, insert image. This time I'm going to upload from my computer because that's a screenshot that I have, and add that there. I'm going to click on these blue squares so that way I can resize to fit into the box. The next icon was a podcast, so I used a microphone for that. I'm going to search the web, so insert image, search the web, and I will say microphone clip art. Find one that I like, insert that, grab those blue boxes, resize so that way it fits into the choice board. This is our home page. We're going to go ahead and make a new page for those instructions for each of the 5 assignments. To do that, I make sure that my page is highlighted over here in this column, and I can click the plus. That's going to give me a whole new page. Here, I will say presentation. And then this will be the instructions for the presentation. I can decide what font I'm going to use. I'll go with Arial Black. I'll center that. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger to like a 30. From here, I'll go back to my home page, find that presentation icon. I'm going to right click on that and copy it. And then put it on the instruction page by right clicking and clicking paste. That way, when the students go to this page, they know that this matches the icon that they clicked. Now for the fun part, we're going to go ahead and link this page to the icon on the home page. So go to your presentation icon, click inside of that, go up to toolbar, click insert. You're going to click insert link. We are linking a slide in this presentation. So I'm going to click that arrow. And you can see over here, the presentation instruction page is slide 2. So I'm going to find slide 2 and click that. So now when your students are in slideshow mode, if they click on the presentation icon in the choice board, it will take them directly to the page that gives them the instructions. Now that we have the presentation icon already linked to the instruction page, now I can go ahead and copy that, and then I can place it strategically on the choice board in other areas. And it already has that link to the instruction page. So even if they're not clicking on the presentation icon in the top row, maybe they're clicking on it in the third row, it's still going to link them to page 2 that gives them the instruction. So that's why I didn't place the presentation icon all over the board earlier. First, I wanted to link it to the instruction. That way I didn't have to go back and link every single one of them. Give that a try. So we can click on the presentation icon in the first row. We can click on the presentation icon in the third row, and it still takes us to slide 2. I already set up page 2 the way that I would like. I have the font that I want. I have the sizing that I want. I placed the instruction box where I wanted, so that way it gave enough space to put the icon. So I'm actually going to right click on slide 2 and just duplicate that. And then I'll go in and change character analysis. Of course, this icon is no longer applicable because we've changed what the assignment is. So I'll go back to my choice board, right click, copy the correct icon for character analysis, right click, and paste that. I'm going to do the same thing for the podcast, for the article, and the summary. So I'm going to take slide 3, right click, duplicate. This is now going to be the podcast instruction page. Change my title to podcast, get rid of character analysis icon, right click and copy the podcast icon, go back to page 4, right click and paste the podcast icon on that page. All 5 of my assignments. I have instruction pages for each of those. Again, you can utilize ChatGPT or another AI platform to help you generate the content for your instructions. So we do have our presentation icon linked to an instruction page. What happens when we need to do our next assignment? We would have to scroll all the way back to the choice board. And that's fine for this one because it's the very next page. But what if we were on page 6? To get back, we'd have to scroll through all of these. So what we want to do right now is to insert a home button. So here is our example. So on this one, if I'm on text annotation, I can click home and it'll take me right back to the choice board. If I'm on podcast, I can click home and it'll take me right back to the choice board. If I am on character analysis, I can click home and it'll take me right back to the choice board. So we want to create that home button on the choice board that we just created. So I'm going to go back to the one we're working on, going to the first instruction page, which is page 2. I'm going to insert an image and search the web for a house clip art. I'm going to resize that and put this down in the right-hand corner. Same thing we did to link our icons to our pages. We're going to link this now to page 1. So insert link slides in this presentation, and you want to go to slide 1. I'm going to verify that that worked. I am in slideshow mode. If I click on that house, it took me right back to my presentation. It took me back to my choice board. So now on slide 2, I'm going to right click and copy that. Then I'm going to go to slide 3 and paste it. I'm going to go to slide 4 and paste it. Slide 5 and paste it. Slide 6, right click and paste. So now that I'm in slideshow mode, I can get back to my choice board. Okay, let's go ahead and fill in the rest of the choice board, thinking about how we can strategically place our assignments. So that way we can get our blended learning where our students are able to get some online and offline activities to hit that standard. So in this middle line right here, if students go diagonally, it is already filled in. I'm noticing right here, if my student goes diagonally, they have presentation twice. So I'm going to go ahead and move this presentation over, and that's going to give online, offline, and then I could put something else right here. So now I have online, offline for one of my diagonals and also down through the middle. So now I'm going to move my podcast. I'm going to copy that. The only place I can put podcast is right here, because if I put it here, so I have 3 empty boxes right now. If I put it here, that's going to be in the same line as the podcast already, and they don't want to do podcast, podcast, podcast. So the only place to put that is here. So now we have 2 onlines and an offline. Here we have an online, an offline. So this could be offline as well. I'll go ahead and grab the character analysis. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put the character analysis down here. That way I can reuse the presentation here. Okay, so now that we have all of our choice board filled out, let's go back and link the icons to the pages, the instruction pages. We've already linked the presentation page. Let's link the character analysis page. We can see it's page 3. So with this highlighted on the choice board, I'm going to go to Insert, Link, Slides in this presentation, and I want to go to slide 3. The next character analysis, Insert, Link, Slides in this presentation, slide 3. Podcast, click on that icon, Insert, Link, Slides in this presentation, slide 4. Podcast, Insert, Link, Slides in this presentation, slide 4. For the article analysis, it is slide 5. And the summary is slide 6. All right, let's double check everything. Okay, looks great. So we did all of that work, but we can reuse this choice board. We can always go up to File, Make a Copy. And so when you have subsequent assignments, you can default back to this. You might have to switch out maybe the character analysis if that doesn't quite fit what you are using for your next assignment, but you can still utilize the podcast, presentation, a summary, an article analysis, but switch out the icons that you may be needing. Other than that, you are all set. So that is how you can make a choice board in Google Slides. You can now push this out to your students using your learning management system like Canvas, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, whatever it is that your school utilizes to help get this to your students. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you will use choice boards in your instructional design. Enjoy your blended learning journey.